The Whispering Forest. On the outskirts of a small, forgotten town, there was a forest that no one dared to enter. The locals called it the Whispering Forest, named for the eerie, indistinguishable murmurs that seemed to emanate from the depths of the trees at night. Most people avoided it, dismissing the sounds as the wind or the rustling of leaves, but those who had ventured in swore that something far more sinister resided there. One autumn evening, a young man named Mark, new to the town and skeptical of the local superstitions, decided to explore the forest. Armed with a flashlight and his phone, he set off at dusk, determined to prove there was nothing to fear. As Mark entered the forest, the air grew colder, and the trees seemed to close in around him. The path, initially clear, became increasingly obscure, forcing him to rely on his flashlight. The whispers began softly, like the faintest rustling of leaves. But as he ventured deeper, they grew louder, more distinct. "Turn back," a voice seemed to hiss. Mark paused, his heart pounding. He scanned the forest with his flashlight, but saw nothing unusual. Shaking off his fear, he pressed on, determined to find the source of the whispers. Minutes turned into hours as he wandered through the labyrinth of trees. The whispers grew more insistent, more urgent. Mark felt an icy dread creeping into his bones. He tried to retrace his steps, but the path had vanished. Panic set in as he realized he was hopelessly lost. The forest seemed alive now, the trees swaying and creaking as if they were moving of their own accord. Shadows danced in the corners of his vision, and the whispers grew louder, more frenzied. Desperate, Mark stumbled through the underbrush calling for help, but his voice was swallowed by the forest. Suddenly his flashlight flickered and died, plunging him into darkness. He fumbled for his phone, but it too was dead. The whispers were all around him now, a cacophony of voices overlapping and blending together, forming a single, haunting chant. "Join us," they whispered. "Join us." Mark stumbled, falling to his knees. The ground beneath him seemed to pulse and writhe, and he could feel something cold and wet grasping at his ankles. He tried to scream, but no sound came out. The whispers grew louder, drowning out his thoughts, filling his mind with a suffocating darkness. In his final moments, Mark saw them, pale, ghostly figures emerging from the trees, their eyes hollow and their mouths twisted into ghastly grins. They reached out to him with skeletal hands, their whispers now a deafening roar. "Join us!" they repeated, over and over, as they dragged him down into the earth. The next morning, the townsfolk found Mark's belongings scattered at the edge of the forest. His flashlight, his phone, and his shoes were all that remained. The forest was silent, the whispers gone, but the locals knew better. They had seen it before. Another soul had been claimed by the Whispering Forest, and the whispers would return, hungrier than ever. From that day on, no one dared to enter the forest again. The legend of the Whispering Forest grew, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurks just beyond the edge of the known world, waiting for the next unwary soul to wander into its grasp. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more chilling stories.